Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Mr. Curtis, you could please say hello to everybody.
Thank you, Professor. Hello, everybody. It is I, the teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Yes, yeah. Right here. Hello.
I kind of already said that part.
Nice to see you all. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Excellent job. Also, here in the classroom today is, of course, our trainer in training, young Corbin, if you could say hello to everybody.
Young Corbin. I like that. Sounds like a rapper name. Yo, what's up? Young Corbin. Nothing rhymes with Corbin, so that's it. That's all you get.
Morbin. It's Corbin time.
It's Corbin time.
Corbin time.
I'm gonna start. That's gonna be my new introduction. Every class, it's Corbin time. I like that.
It's Corbin time. And now introducing your class president.
That's right. Don't forget it. Your class president.
You didn't do you didn't introduce.
You were setting me up. You were throwing the ball.
You want me to set you up again? You want me to set you up again? I could do it.
That was an alley-oop. I'm so sorry. I did not realize that. Okay, here we go.
And now introducing your class president, Corbin.
It's him.
Corbin time. Curtis, you ruined it. You ruined it.
Mr. Curtis, you ruined it. You ruined it like you ruined everything.
You ruined everything.
Sorry.
You and your stupid bug Pokemon can go into the forest and catch on fire and burn down.
All right. Enough crying. Last week's lesson was the crying lesson, all right? No more crying today. We're over it. We're over our trauma, and we're moving on. Because today...
I'm still recovering from a lot of trauma, actually.
Corbin doesn't want me to put his skull on my head.
What? No.
Well,
no.
Corbin's not your mother. For those students who don't quite remember last week's lesson, Mr. Curtis is, of course, referencing Cubone, who is very well known for wearing its deceased mother's skull on its head.
But we're not talking about Cubone again, right?
Today? No, we're not talking about Cubone today. In fact, we're talking about the evolved form of Cubone today.
Oh.
This is where you guys say the name of that Pokemon, because you know
what yeah. This is, it is Morrowind?
Decidueye.
No, it's not Morrowind. It's not. It's close. I mean, I guess you kind of have some of the letters. I'll tell you. We're learning about Marowak.
Marowak or Marowak?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on which part of Kanto you're from, I suppose.
Okay, well, I'm from the southern part of Kanto, so for me it's Marowak.
Okay, I also say Marowak. My origin is undefined at this time, so
I do say Marowak, though I just follow whatever the professor does. I'll be totally
good choice.
First time I'm hearing that, honestly.
All right, so have either of you guys seen a Marowak? Do you kind of like understand what a Marowak is?
I understand, but do I know? Not really. No.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a Marowak here today. I'm going to throw it out.
I understand. Listen, I understand what a Marowak is, but I don't get it.
Yeah, you don't know what makes it tick, right?
Yeah, it's like you understand it, but you don't get it.
On a spiritual level.
Right, yeah. I'm not like,
Okay. All right, so here is Marowak. This is a Cantonian Marowak, by the way. There are two different forms of Marowak.
Okay.
So here it is.
Whoa. Okay. So like it channeled a lot of its sadness to turn into this really cool looking hardcore metal Pokemon.
No, well, it's not a metal Pokemon. It's not steel type.
No, I meant like ground. Metal as in like, metal. You know what I mean? Like,
is that what you're seeing from it? I don't think so.
I mean,
it just looks like an angry dude with a skull on its head.
I mean, that's underselling it. I think it looks pretty cool.
Okay, describe it to me, please. Describe it to me and for the rest of the your fellow students, Corbin.
Well, it's very similar to Cubone in its stature. It still has a brown, body. Its underbelly is cream color, but it's got like lines across it now. Its hands and feet look about the same. It's got a short little tail, but it seems like the skull that it was wearing looks like it's almost more fused with the head. Like it felt like before, like the skull was almost too big for it. Like it was wearing it like a big hat. It was just kind of like, not fitting properly, but now it seems like it's fused. Also, the bone that it's holding in its hand is a lot bigger. It's not like a tiny little bone. It's a bigger bone.
More damage,
bigger club,
more
if you
damage
will.
from that bone.
It's more like a club. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Excellent job, Corbin.
Yes, it looks like it's a double-ended bone.
A double boning, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that the correct anatomical term, Mr. Curtis?
For
a double
what
bone?
Marowak does with its bone?
Yeah.
Some boning?
A double boning. We're working on it.
Okay.
We're workshopping it.
We're trying to figure out, kind of what it does. Kind of the term there. No, so, and also, I think it's important here to note that Marowak is not crying.
Well, I noticed that too.
Is put that behind him at this point.
Yeah, unlike Cubone, Marowak has kind of gotten over. Gotten over. It's come to terms with the fact that its mother has died.
It's accepted.
Right. Marowak, could you teach me to be okay with the fact that my father is gone? How do you get over that trauma? He shrugged. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that's no help.
He is aiming and smacking with the bone a little bit.
Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. This is like a really bad game of charades, dude.
Okay, now he's getting now it looks like he's getting closer to you. He's about to smack you. I think he's gonna hit you with it, Corbin. Be careful.
Okay, don't hit me with it. Don't hit me
please,
with it, please.
Marowak, please.
Is that a Piplup? What are
Ow.
you making?
Oh.
Okay, yeah, okay. So now I'm getting it. So you have to...
Ow, God.
Oh, he's trying to... I get it. He's trying to bury Curtis. So you have to bury the emotions in fear. Okay, so...
Not what I wanted. I was trying
I
to
get
that was
that.
a good one. That was a good smack.
So...
Ow. Oh.
Okay. Right.
God.
That... Okay, you're losing me now when you did the backflip.
I don't know anymore. I think it just wanted to hit Mr. Curtis.
Ow.
Okay, I think we've learned all we
I'm just
can
gonna lay down over here.
from seeing the. I'm gonna go ahead and put
Marowak.
back into its Pokeball. All right, come
Okay.
on back.
That's
back
not...
here,
Wait,
Cubone.
Cubone. Whoa.
Oh, sorry, Marowak.
Whoa.
Marowak. It has a bone. What do you want from me?
I want you to get the name correct because you're the professor. You're supposed to never mess up.
You're right. I'm sorry. You know what, editor, person who edits all these lessons, go ahead and cut out that I said Cubone and replace it with a super fake voice that sounds like Marowak.
Good idea.
Okay, that's smart.
Thank you, editor. I'm sure you did that. Because professors always got to be right. All right. Marowak is back into its Pokeball. Let's read some Pokedex entries.
Right.
Starting off with the Kanto region. The first one says, the bone it holds is its key weapon. It throws the bone skillfully.
Skillfully!
Oh my god.
You throw that thing skillfully!
It throws the bone skillfully, like a boomerang, to KO a targets.
Ooh!
Yeah, a double
So
boning.
it's a critical hit. Knocks it out every time.
Well, what do you mean? No, it doesn't.
Well, you said KO.
I mean, it's doing it to KO targets. It doesn't automatically KO a target.
Oh, you made it sound like it was like inevitable. Like, yeah, it does it every time.
Oh, okay. I guess it kind of does sound like that, doesn't it?
It did.
But at least, there's a lot of Pokedex entries out there where it does make some pretty sweeping statements, like, can melt anything, or its shell can repel anything, or anything, or
which is
like
just
that.
rubbish.
It doesn't double down too hard. I don't think. Okay, the next entry says, small and weak. This Pokemon is adept with its bone club. It has grown more vicious over the ages.
Oh,
jeez,
that's kind of demeaning. Small and weak.
Kind of rude.
It's pretty mean. I think though I understand what they were trying to say, and I think it'll become more apparent in this next entry here, which is also from the Kanto region. Originally a small and weak Pokemon, it became rough and aggressive when it began using bones as weapons.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so it used to be a weak and small Pokemon.
Okay.
So is it saying like when Cubone first became Marowak, it was small and weak, or is it referring to the small and weak portion as like when it was Cubone, it was small and weak? And now it's rough and aggressive.
Good question, Mr.
Aggressive.
Mr. Curtis. That's
aggressive.
Okay.
Aggressive.
What are you even saying? I don't know what you're saying.
He's saying aggressive.
Oh, you're saying aggressive. Okay. Hey, Mr. Curtis.
Yes.
That was an excellent question. Thank you so much for asking.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways, Johto region.
But you're not going to
It
give
has
me an
been.
answer?
Oh no, I'm not going to answer it. Absolutely not.
Oh, God.
It has been seen pounding boulders with the bone it carries in order to tap out messages to others.
Oh.
It's kind of like it has its own like secret language, secret Marowak language.
So it was trying to tell me how to bury the trauma, and I just wasn't catching it. Okay, all right.
You just can't speak Marowak taps.
I can't, clearly.
It was beating out a message on me.
Yeah. Well, I was too distracted by how much I was enjoying it hurt you, and I wasn't catching the message.
Maybe the message is time. Maybe only time can heal those wounds, Corbin.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't speak Marowak either, so I can't really know. All right, the next entry says, it collects bones from an unknown place. A Marowak graveyard exists somewhere in the world, rumors say.
Now,
what?
Yes, Mr. Curtis? I don't see your hand raised.
Oh, sorry. Right here.
Please don't be rude.
Yes, Mr. Curtis, you have a question?
Yes. Now, is that a graveyard of like where Marowaks go to die, or is that a graveyard that Marowak is like the graveyard keeper for? Like all Pokemon, like all sorts of things are there, but it's Marowak's
I'm pretty sure it's a graveyard full of dead Marowaks, and probably some Cubones in there too.
That doesn't sound very nice.
So why are they all there? Who's collecting them? The Mandibuzz. That's who it's gotta be collecting them. That
dang
stupid bird Pokemon. Oh, I wish I could just rip the flesh from its bone. I just slam that bird Pokemon against the wall. It hurts Cubones, and I don't like it.
I think it's more of a heritage thing. I think Marowaks have a very close tie to the afterlife, and they and you know this is a cemetery thing that they. So Mr. Curtis, yes, I think on both accounts, it's a graveyard full of Marowaks, but Marowaks are also the graveyard keepers.
So maybe that's where they're getting them all. That's where all the Cubones are getting the skulls from, the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is what it means when it says it collects bones from an unknown place. That unknown place is the Marowak graveyard.
Dude, it's all coming together.
By the way, cool name for a band. Just Marowak Graveyard. Oh, that's such a cool name for a band.
I like Marowak Sunshine better.
Nobody asked you, Mr. Curtis, weirdly enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good, you should be. All right, the next entry here from the Johto region says, somewhere in the world is a cemetery just for Marowak. It gets its bones from those graves.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one kind of like
on it. Yeah,
confirms.
There you go.
Confirms.
Okay, yeah. So Marowak gets its bones from those graves, but it's not confirmed if Cubone does. But we can assume that it does, right?
I think that's I think we can assume. Well, I don't know. I think the bone that Cubone has is its dead parent's bone.
Right.
Yeah.
Because why would a small little baby Pokemon go that far? You know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure all the Cubones and Marowaks know where this graveyard is, and there has to be more than one in the world.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, what if it's like in a whole different region away? Like, how are you gonna get there?
all the Marowaks can't make this crazy pilgrimage to the one graveyard.
What are you gonna do? Swim across the ocean like Poliwrath or something? Like, come on.
Or Raticates.
Eradicate? Yeah.
Raticates love to swim.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, great addition, Mr. Curtis.
Let's go ahead and
move on.
Thank you for your contribution.
All right. In the Hoenn region, this entry says, Marowak is the evolved form of a Cubone that has overcome its sadness at the loss of its mother and grown tough. This Pokemon's tempered and hardened spirit is not easily broken.
No.
It's
not.
Yeah, pretty good. That's actually the only entry here from the Hoenn region. That's rare.
Wow.
Wait, what?
They have more than
Really?
one. I know.
Come on, Birch.
Yeah.
Step it up, man.
I mean, there is one here that's kind of slightly different, but it's extremely similar to what we've already seen. I'll read it.
Don't even bot. Okay.
No, I'm gonna read it. It's slightly different. It is small and was originally very weak. Its temperament turned ferocious when it began using bones.
Ooh.
So it's pretty similar to what we've already read, but not exactly.
When you
the
start
same.
using bones.
I know, right? It's the bones make it mean.
Yeah.
All right. Now moving on to the Sinnoh region. From its birth, this savage Pokemon constantly holds bones. It is skilled in using them as weapons.
Birth meaning Cubone, right?
Yeah, yes, it would have to. You can't just hatch a Marowak out of an egg. It has to evolve from a Cubone.
Maybe you can't.
Have you ever tried to hatch a Marowak from an egg?
Yes. We've all tried it. Doesn't happen. Honestly, though, that entry kind of seemed like it's less about Marowak and more about Cubone. It's like an extra bonus Cubone entry.
Oh, I love it.
I know. All for the price of one. You're welcome.
I mean, yeah, basically.
I'm so generous.
Well, it's not you.
All right. Moving on to the Alola region, because we don't talk about Unova or Kalos, those dang copycats.
Yeah.
The first entry here says, originally it was weak and timid. After evolution, its temperament becomes violent, and it begins to wield bones as weapons. Alright, now we got some contradictions here. So, this one says that it was originally weak and timid, and then after evolution, it becomes violent. So that it's weak and timid as a Cubone, and then it becomes violent. But it really, before it made it seem like its Marowaks are weak and timid, right? Small and weak. But
no, I caught it. I caught that it was a Cubone when it was weak and timid.
Okay, sure. But also it says, after evolution, its temperament becomes violent, and it begins to wield bones as weapon. Now in Sinnoh, they say that it constantly holds bones from its birth.
That's not the same thing as weapons, though. You can hold bones from birth, but that doesn't mean it's a weapon.
Okay, so it's like a little toy when it's a Cubone, and then when it becomes a Marowak, then it's a killing machine.
Sure, yeah. It's like the skull on its mother's head, or its head. It's like a coping mechanism.
It's a comfort mechanism.
Yeah. It's a coping mechanism.
It's like a binky.
It's a passy. Yeah. It sucks on the bone.
A pacifier. Sure.
It's a little teddy bear.
And then when it evolves, it becomes a pacifier, as in it pacifies people.
Yeah.
Alright, the next entry in Alola says, this Pokemon is out for vengeance on its natural enemy, Mandibuzz.
Yes! Sorry.
It throws bones like boomerangs to try to take it down.
Yes. Oh my god. Kill it! Sorry.
This next one is kind of in the same vein. It says, it throws bones at Mandibuzz to knock it down.
Yes!
Its thought is that Marowak is trying to avenge its parents.
Oh, yes. I want to see that. I want to see heads roll off of Mandibuzz. I want to see the jugular split.
I want to see Marowak bullseye a Mandibuzz out of thin air.
Yes, knock its eyes out of the sockets. The Mandibuzz, it's not death. It's worse than death. It has to fly around the rest of its miserable life without eyeballs, without able to see, without able to find food. It just dies out in the desert on its own. Sorry.
Hey, Corbin, let's take it down a couple notches. You're pretty wound up, my boy.
Sorry.
Sweet child.
Here, I think he needs his pacifier. Give him his Banky.
That's a bone! I don't want that! I'm not a Cubone.
If it's good enough for Cubone, it's good enough for you.
No, that's different. It just is.
Okay. The next entry here from the Alola region says, they thump their bones rhythmically to communicate amongst themselves. There are nearly 50 different rhythmic patterns.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like a full language, but it's still, they have a bunch of different communications they can easily do with bone tapping. Alright, let's move on to the Galar region. The first entry says, this Pokemon overcame its sorrow to evolve a sturdy new body. Marowak faces its opponents bravely, using a bone as a weapon.
Hey.
And then there's one more from the Galar region. It says, when this Pokemon evolved, the skull of its mother fused to it.
Yeah.
Marowak's temperament also turned vicious at the same time.
Just absolutely savage.
Yeah,
wow.
Vicious and savage, and it's the skull.
So I was right in that observation that it looks like it is fused, because it is.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So Marowak, Marowak's skull, or Marowak's head, has fused to the skull of its mother.
Right, called it.
Okay.
Right? But its mother's skull fused to the skull of its grandmother. Does the skull just get thicker and thicker and thicker with each, generation?
Well, not every generation gets to Marowak. Sometimes its mom is another Cubone, so sometimes they don't fuse.
I guess so. But, I mean, every Marowak, right, has to have a mother.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah.
I bet... Listen, I bet you anything. You can tell how many generations deep a Marowak is by analyzing its skull somehow. I bet there's some way to do that.
The layers in the skulls.
Yeah, layers. You'll probably have to cut the skull open, though, which I don't think you should really do.
Oh, so you're saying...
Just take a bone sample. Just a little
The
drill.
skull is technically passed down for generations?
Well, I bet when it does eventually die, because it will die. If one thing that we know about Marowaks is that after they have kids, they have terrible, tragic, untimely deaths.
Apparently.
So maybe at that point we can take the skull and kind of, analyze it a little bit before we then give it to the Cubone child.
But see, you can't do that because you can't see the Cubone without the mask.
Oh gosh, I'll wear a blindfold.
Yeah, please.
All right, so that does it for the regional entries on Marowak. I do have some unique entries here. The first one comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says, Marowak, a Bone Keeper Pokemon. Despite its small size, its offensive and defensive strength is impressive.
Ooh.
All right, that does it for Cantonian Marowak. I do have some entries here for Alolan Marowak, which is slightly different.
All right. Okay.
Slightly. I mean, it's like dark. I guess I'll just describe it. It's kind of darker in color.
Okay.
Right? And I think the biggest thing is that its bones now have blue flames on each end.
What?
Which is pretty cool.
That's
obviously,
awesome.
it's way too dangerous to have in the classroom, which is why I didn't bring it today.
Right, of course. I'm glad this one just beat Mr. Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if that bone was on fire.
I mean, I am picturing it. Not bad.
Mr. Curtis is imagining it.
Pretty cool.
That's not fun. I don't like it.
He doesn't like it. All right, so let's see here. The first entries come to us from the Alola region, obviously. It says, the bones it possesses were once its mother's. Its mother's regrets have become like a vengeful spirit protecting this Pokemon.
Wow, that's cool. Wait, what type is this Pokemon again?
It's Ghost and Fire.
So
Fire
its
Ghost.
dead mom is with it. That's kind of cool.
Kinda, yeah, in the form of a vengeful spirit.
So it's
I
like
suppose.
something like Execute, where it's 2 Pokemon for the price of 1.
I mean, I don't know if I could say that.
Okay.
Because first of all, Execute is really just one Pokemon,
Sure.
right? It just when it's just one by itself, it's like 1/7 of a Pokemon. But when all 7,
6.
6,
7.
7, 6.
8.
Hold on, wait,
8,
6.
9.
When it's 1/6 of a Pokemon, and then when all 6 of them together, then it's one full Pokemon.
Okay.
This I don't think you can consider the vengeful spirit of the Marowak's mother to be a separate Pokemon.
Okay. All right.
I like that you're thinking out of the box, though, Corbin. Very excellent out of the box thinking there.
I try.
Okay. The next entry says its custom is to mourn its lost companions. Mounds of dirt by the side of the road mark the graves of the Marowak.
Wait.
Is this like the secret graveyard it was talking about?
I don't know. Maybe
like bury them around the place on the side of the road. Like,
Yeah, this seems less cinematic.
It seems like the leading cause of death to Marowaks is getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
that would not be good.
Yeah, no. I'm guessing that the whole like Marowak graveyard is a Cantonian Marowak thing, and then the Alolan Marowaks just bury the.
So it's this really cool, edgy ghost fire type Pokemon that wields the power of its dead mother, and it avenges its parents' deaths, but its worst threat, its worst enemy are automobiles. Okay.
I guess so. I don't really know. It doesn't really say how they die. It's just that the mounds of dirt by the side of the road mark the graves of Marowak. So I guess that's where a lot of them die, by the side of the road.
Maybe asphalt's their greatest weakness. I don't know.
Maybe. The next entry here says, the rich greenery of the Alola region is hard on Marowak. It controls fire to stay alive.
Nice.
Wait,
Yes.
The rich greenery is hard,
Yeah.
and it controls fire to stay alive.
Yeah, it doesn't say how it controls fire to stay alive.
Or why
It doesn't really say
greener,
yeah.
or why greenery is hard on Marowak.
Listen, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I feel like that entry kind of raises a lot more questions than it does answers.
Lettuce leaf, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Basically.
grass is super effective against ground type, so
I guess
that's
so.
why it had to become a ghost/fire type.
Right. Now it's not weak to anything.
That's not true.
Oh. Okay.
Water, for one.
Oh, well, never mind.
All right, the last entry here. Oh, sorry, not the last entry here. When it beats opponents with its bone, the cursed flames spread to them.
Ooh.
No amount of water will stop those flames from burning.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay, so I guess I was wrong about the water thing.
But, you can pour milk on it and you're fine.
I guess some other kind of liquid. I mean,
It
milk
says
is
water.
mostly water.
But it doesn't, get some milk tank milk in there, you're good.
Yeah, or just cover yourself in dirt.
Sure, yeah, dig a hole.
Get a second Cantonian Marowak to drop some dirt on you.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Juicy.
Juicy?
All right, now
Okay.
this is the last entry from the Alola region. It says, it has transformed the spirit of its dear departed mother into flames, and tonight it will once again dance in the mourning of others of its kind.
Yeah! Yeah!
Wait, tonight, specifically.
Tonight, so book your tickets now, everybody. One night only.
I think that Pokedex entry started to turn into an ad.
Tonight.
People are reading these Pokedex entries years from now like, man, must have been an awesome night, huh?
Dang, I missed it.
I missed it. Well, I could have seen this the day it was written. I would have been there.
Maybe that's why. Maybe the person who wrote the entry is like, that's why this entry is so short. I gotta go check out this sick Marowak dance.
Adios. Honestly,
right,
that would be kind of cool to watch, though. It'd be nice if we could include some videos in.
What?
We don't have that. We don't have a video budget. Are you crazy?
Are you serious?
Yeah, put some videos in the Pokedex.
Well, that was something we talked about before the class. We talked about doing this as a video platform, and then the professor said, we don't have the money, the principal won't let us.
We don't have the money.
So,
I really don't.
it's an audio lesson only.
Plus, Mr. Curtis's face and body really do deter a lot of students from showing up. So this audio medium kind of really works perfectly for us.
Yeah.
I keep my trench coat on all the time, Professor.
Yeah, not over your face though.
Curtis on camera adds 10 pounds to everybody else around him. It doesn't make any sense.
What? Yeah, Mr. Curtis leaves the room and everybody loses 10 pounds somehow.
I mean,
Gosh.
yeah. From sweating, being nervous around him.
All right, let's go ahead and read the Galar entries for Alola and Marowak. The first one says, this Pokemon sets the bone it holds on fire and dances through the night as a way to mourn its fallen allies. Yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
And the last entry from the Galar region says, the cursed flames that light up the bone carried by this Pokemon are said to cause both mental and physical pain that will never fade.
Ooh.
Jeez.
I know, it's pretty gruesome, isn't it?
Mental and physical pain.
Like, oh man, I thought we were friends, Marowak. I can't believe you'd hurt me like this. That's the mental part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that does it for the regional entries. There is one unique entry here for Alolan Marowak. It comes to us from Rotom Pokédex. It doesn't say who it belongs to. It's just one kind of floating out there.
Okay.
It says, Marowak, Alola form, a fire and ghost type. The bone Marowak holds is precious to it, and its greatest weapon. It uses the bone as a torch to unleash its attack.
Cha-cha.
Haha. I like it.
Yes, very good. And also to dance. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Excellent work today in class. Does it for the Pokedex entries for Marowak and Alolan Marowak. Now I think we gotta, get in there and we gotta test and see how much you've learned.
All right.
Are we ready for it?
I'm ready, Professor. Lay it on me. I got my
Okay.
quiz taking pen right here.
No.
We're not doing a quiz today.
Yes.
Today we're doing a debate.
Oh.
Oh.
So, Mr. Curtis, I can't remember who I asked last time. Mr. Curtis, would you like to defend or would you like to oppose this statement?
I'm going to defend. I'm on a I'm
Okay.
feeling defensive today.
Okay. Let me just write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, Corbin, would you like to go second, or would you like to go first? Should I describe how the debate is outlined? I feel like I always do.
I think people can understand it at this point. If they don't, they can figure it out.
I feel like I need to read the rubric and also the debate structure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
Okay. All right. Rubric here. First, it must include information that we learned in class, and second, it must demonstrate an understanding of the Pokemon's unique abilities and attributes. Those two kind of go in hand, but they're slightly separate. 3, you must build an argument around proven facts about the topic Pokemon. All right, it has to have the proven facts, and your argument must be built around those proven facts. And 4, you must respond to at least one of your opponent's arguments with a legitimate counter argument. Okay. And the debate structure is as follows. Person 1 has their opening statement, which is their main argument, followed by person 2, which has their opening statement and main argument, and then also person 2 gets to respond to person 1's opening statement. Then person 1 responds to person 2's opening statement and their response, and then person 1 has their closing statement, and then person 2 has their closing statement. Okay? All good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, makes
All
sense.
right, so now, Corbin, would you like to go first, or would you like to go second?
I think I'll go first this time. I'll go first.
Okay. All right, so Corbin goes first, and Mr. Curtis follows. Okay.
Yes.
Here is the statement.
I am defending.
Here's
I am
the statement
attacking.
that Curtis is opposing. Here
I'm
is the
defending.
statement.
No, he's defending it.
I'm defending.
I'm assaulting
Yes,
it.
and you're... Oh, God. I'm peppering it.
Oh, shut up.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Hey, you what? No,
Professor
don't
that way.
you?
Don't you talk to Professor that way.
I'll get that Marowak back out here. He'll smack you around.
All right, we ready?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Marowak death rates are far too high. We as humans need to be doing more to make sure they can live long enough to at the very least take care of their young.
So wait, who's defending again? I am.
I'm defending.
Curtis is defending. You're opposing.
Oh, I don't want to
You
oppose
only
this.
said it about 1,000 times.
I don't want to attack this argument.
Yeah, you can, Corbin.
I don't want to.
Think about what it is that makes a Marowak.
Okay, but you're saying that I need to... But it's arguing that Marowaks need to die.
Maybe Marowaks do need to die.
Maybe Marowaks don't need to take care of their kids. Honestly, I think you have the easier argument, but okay.
It's not about the argument. I don't want to argue it.
All right, it looks like my students are ready. I believe Corbin, you said you wanted to have the opening statement.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what, Corbin? The floor is yours.
So again, to reiterate, I am attacking the argument that
No, not attacking, opposing. You're
I'm
opposing.
opposing the argument that we need to be
attacking me directly.
right. Yeah, screw you, Mr. Curtis.
He's attacking Mr. Curtis's life points directly.
But I am opposing the argument that we need to be doing more to make sure Marowak live long enough to take care of their young. I am saying that we do not need to do that. We need to make sure that they die. Morally, I do not agree with this.
Hold on.
What?
I didn't say that.
Nope, that's what it sounds
I
like.
didn't say that.
That's what you said. Now, let's listen up.
We need to be out there killing
No,
Marowaks.
no. I'm not saying that. Listen.
Professor, please let him speak.
Listen.
I want to hear his argument.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Listen, everyone. First of all, Professor, thank you for being here today. Mr. Curtis.
Oh dang, he remembered to do that.
I'm accepting that you're here. I'm getting used to it. Marowak's dying is part of the circle of life that moves us all. Without the deaths, I couldn't say that right. Without the deaths of Marowaks, Cubones will have no bones to hold when they're young, which they use later for weapons when they, evolve into Marowaks. That is their main primary source of defending themselves and attacking is using clubs and bones. If they don't have that, they have no means to defend themselves. So if Marowaks were to live, and Cubone babies were coddled by doting, loving parents, they would be soft, they would not use their bones as weapons, they'd be more easily preyed upon by Mandibuzz. Now, speaking of Mandibuzz, having a hardened, vengeful Marowak who lost his parents also quells the Mandibuzz population by fighting back against those stinking, dumb, worthless abominations.
Okay, bring it down.
The pain is what drives Marowak. The pain is what drives Marowak. It's the ultimate driving force behind why it does what it does. Without the pain, Cubone would never evolve into Marowak and reach its full potential, since we know that they evolve when they overcome grief. I rest my case.
Okay. Excellent job. Pain is a necessary, driving force for Cubones and Marowaks is what you're saying there. All right. Mr. Curtis, let's hear your opening statement now.
Hello?
This is cutting into your time, Mr.
Yeah.
Curtis.
Okay. Well, sorry. Give me a second to write a response to Corbin.
Okay.
No.
Hello, everybody. First, I'd like to say thank you to the professor.
I said that already. You can't say that again.
And my classmates online, and Corbin. I'm going to thank Corbin for being here, even though he's just accepting me, because I need him to be here to show how good my argument is.
Okay.
Anyway. Where does all this thanking come from? I've never said that we
Professor,
need that.
thank you for your commentary right now, but we're listening to Mr. Curtis.
Oh, please. Professor, you're free to commentary all you want. All right.
I'm free to commentary, huh?
It is well known that there are few things sadder in life than the poor cry of a young Cubone. Alas, this problem could easily be solved by human intervention. Almost all Pokemon and humans spend time to raise and support their children, and it is my thought that this experiment, nay, this right, should be instilled upon our good bony boys as well. In doing so, I believe we will reduce the suffering while having very minimal impact on Cubone/Marowak's combat ability. As all creatures eventually will die, providing young Cubones the time to enjoy their family allows them to grow into stable, well-adjusted Pokemon, which they can then use other similar Pokemon bones or even the eventual bones of their parents as when the time comes. In response to my compadre here, Corbin, Marowak still die, and in fact, as we learned in the previous entries, there are countless Marowak graveyards around the world.
In fact, I got a T-shirt here that says Marowak still die.
That's right. And so there's countless dead Marowaks in graveyards around the world, and plenty of bones to use and available. And when their parents die, if they want to be sentimental and carry around their particular parents' bones, they can still do that. In response to the Mandibuzz, adult Marowaks can protect their kids from the Mandibuzz. Okay, I mean that is what their that's what their job is to do as parents. Why should we be leaving Cubones and young Marowaks out there on their own to learn and fight for their life when a fully raised adult strong Marowak can defend them and be able to spend time with them? Anyway. Yeah, I think that's it. And I'm done. Okay.
In conclusion, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. There was something else I was trying to write, but I got sidetracked when the professor told me to start talking, so I don't remember what my final point to the response was.
Professor.
Maybe you'll remember it when Mr. Corbin gives his
Mr.
response,
Corbin, I like
which
that.
is now. Corbin, now is your time to give us a response and a counter argument to Mr. Curtis's opening statement and response. So please go ahead.
You're right. It's possible, Curtis, that growing into stable families might be good for their emotional state, but guess what? You're not going to have any Marowaks that way. They can use other bones. Okay, but again, the definition of a Marowak, cited here by Professor Birch himself, Marowak is the evolved form of a Cubone that has overcome its sadness at the loss of its mother and grown tough. If it does not lose its mom at a young age, it will not have that experience with the bones at a younger age. The longer it has experience with the bones, the more adept it's going to be. It uses the bones at a very young age, and then it turns them into weapons later. Sure, it could wait until the Marowak, its parents, or whoever are much, much older, until they're dead, to start using the bones. But by that point, they're going to be, it's going to be a feeding frenzy among Pokemon that prey on it, because it's not going to be able to defend itself, because it's not going to know how, because it's not going to have that, number one, driving vengeful force of nature, and number two, it's not going to know how to use a bone to defend itself, because it has not had one since birth. It has not had one to defend itself with. So it needs, unfortunately, as the circle of life suggests, it needs its mother to die at a young age in order to overcome that grief sooner, so it can defend itself sooner, so it can start using weapons sooner to become the ultimate vengeful predator it's meant to be. And that is my entire argument.
Okay, that's your closing statement?
That's my closing statement as well. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. I love it. Hey, guys, I absolutely love it when somebody directly quotes the Pokedex. That was almost brought tears to my eye, Corbin.
You're welcome.
All right. Now, Mr. Curtis, it is your time to have a closing statement. Now, this is a closing statement, not a counter argument. It's a closing statement.
Okay. Well, I remember what I was going to say before.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you can
I am gonna
work
say
that into your closing statement, go ahead.
Right.
No.
So, So more time to spend with their parents means more of a bond, which means more sadness to overcome to become a Marowak. Okay, as Corbin references, if Cubones grow, and Marowaks are the evolved form of Cubones that have overcome sadness at the loss of their parents. Well, guess what? The more you know your parent, the more sad you are. And because they are properly emotionally matured adults, their progression into Marowak will be easier and less painful. And as I said before, hey, here's your grandpa's leg bone. Let me show you how to use it, because I'm your parent. Look at that. Oh, great. Cool. You can still have a bone as a kid. Anyway, there are plenty of aggressive fighting Pokemon out there. Look at Machamp. In fact, let's look at Primeape. As we learned in this class, Mankeys and Primeapes live in close-knit forest communities, but still have no problem developing into successful Pokemon and fighters. The world is hard, and Marowak still will have bones to fight with, and it will be tough to survive. So let's give them the time they deserve with their loving family before they have to turn and face this cold, cruel world.
I wish we could, but we can't.
Thank
we
you.
can't.
No, Corbin. No.
We can't.
Corbin, no more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, Corbin, you're done. You've had all of your responses. Sorry. You had your closing statement.
Sorry, right now to me he just looks like a Mandibuzz, and I'm just really getting worked up.
Thank you.
Wow, do you even really know what a Mandibuzz looks like? We haven't talked about it yet.
No, but I can visualize it in my head, and it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
I bet it looks like a nerd.
It looks like that one guy that did that Pokedex entry last week, Dexter. It's probably a Dexter.
Dexter. Oh, what a nerd. All right, nerd. Guys, excellent job to the both of you. Again, Corbin, you cited directly from the Pokedex. I love that. That's great. Mr. Curtis, you even went back into previous entries where you talked about Mankey. Excellent job there. I think this was
a Mankey debate.
Well, no, but he can still use, lessons we learned from those Pokemon into in these. I think
it's not in the rubric.
Although it is true, you can't directly relate a Mankey to a Marowak, but we can make some assumptions.
Sure.
So yeah, excellent job. I think I'm very happy with this. I'm gonna give you guys both full marks on this one. I think you guys satisfied my rubric. So excellent job.
Thank
and
you.
as always, I'm not gonna say who was the winner here. That's not what the debate is about. It's about getting your viewpoints across. I think you both did excellent job, and I think this is one of those rare debates where, one side wasn't obviously the easier side to defend or oppose.
But don't undersell my argument, Professor.
Well, I'm not underselling.
Sounds like it.
All right. But anyways,
everybody just remember your class president wants to kill Marowak.
I don't want to kill them.
And cause
I
Cubones
defended it.
More pain.
I did it for the sake of the argument for the class. I do not morally think that we should have
Corbin is for
their
crying Cubones.
I'm not. No, not
Corbin
me.
Is for
also,
crying
think
Cubones.
about
No.
think about what that's gonna do to the Mandibuzz population, Curtis.
Yeah, there's gonna be too many of them.
It's all a part of a cycle.
That's what I'm
who
saying.
Are we to intervene in that.
But he doesn't get that.
But also, like, come on, give them Cubone some parents. Jeez.
Ugh.
How heartless are we?
Well, that's why we have like Shaq, the Jigglypuff to adopt, Cubones. They have adopters.
Surrogate
Sure.
parents, if you will.
Yes.
Well, but then Corbin, they won't be sad enough to evolve into Marowaks, as per your argument.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. All right. Anyways, so that does it for our lesson on Marowak. Does anybody know who we're going to be talking about next time?
Kangaskhan.
Good guess, but no. We're actually learning about a fighting type.
Oh.
And this is one of those rare Pokemon that actually doesn't evolve.
Hitmon Punch.
Really? I didn't know there were Pokemon like that, Professor.
Yeah, I mean, it does evolve from something, but it doesn't evolve into something.
Hitmon Punch.
Close.
Hitmonlee.
Other things after Hitmon. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Hitmonlee.
Okay.
Wow.
Learning about Hitmonlee. So,
All right.
It's a fighting type. And I'm excited to talk about it. I mean, what was the last fighting type we talked about?
I think it was
Machop, or was it Primeape? Which one came first?
Growlithe,
Primeape
I think.
Growlithe is not a fighting type.
Well, it fought for my heart and it won. Okay.
Oh.
It looks like Machamp was the last one that we talked about. I don't know. It's not important. I don't know why I'm trying to find out.
I don't know either.
But yes, next week we're talking about Hitmonlee. But until then, if you have any questions for me, the professor, you can Gengar mail me at wwopokemon@gmail.com. Of course, G stands for Gengar. I think we all know that at this point.
Of course.
Right.
If you don't have a Gengar mail, that's fine. You can also find me on the flying Pokemon-themed social network site, Twitter. I'm there at wwopokemon as well. If you really, really enjoyed this lesson, you're really getting into it, and you think everybody should learn these super important facts about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, the best way to do that is give us a rating on Flapple Podcasts. It's spelled like Apple Podcasts.
Good news.
If you're having trouble finding it.
Good news. Spotify gone. We have hit 50 ratings as of today.
Oh.
50.
Wow. That's the other place, by the way, to give us a review is Spotify spelled like
Now we got to hit 75 on Flapple, then we'll get a field trip.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. We'll talk to the professor.
You promised.
Not the professor. I'm the professor. We'll talk to the principal and see what they say.
You promised.
I think I promised I'd talk to the principal.
You promised you talked to him about making it happen.
Yeah, and it's up to him if it happens or not.
Don't worry, I'll canvas outside his house.
Sounds good.
No, don't do that. It really puts him in danger. We can't do that to him. Okay, but anyways, that's gonna do it for today's lesson. So until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon as part of the Pokecasters Network.